Arsenal's Bukayo Saka is a real talent that could potentially be one of Arsenal's legends in the long term. Arsenal are leading the race for their first Premier League title since 2004, and their star man Saka is leading the way. He is fast becoming a player who is influential to Arsenal in the now and the future. And so far this season, he's created 10 assists and scored 13 goals. So we're going to take a look at the informed youngster and see what he does as a winger. And what we must realise is that not all wingers are the same. Some wingers prefer to dribble, others prefer running in behind the defence, and some prefer coming short and creating things. And if you look at Marcus Rashford and Saka, although they play in similar positions, they are completely different players. And today we're going to have a look at the different roles and functions wingers have, and we're going to do that by learning from Arsenal's Bukayo Saka. He's a hugely influential player with a huge future ahead of him. And his goals and assists are massively important to Arsenal. But one of the main things we need to look at first of all is his positioning, where he likes to play high and wide up the pitch, getting into that final third area as much as he possibly can. And this is what helps him create and score so many goals. The closer he is to goal, the more opportunities he's going to have to be more effective. And this high and wide starting position is one of the vital areas that we can learn from. And his positioning suits Arsenal's game massively. With the likes of Odegaard passing and providing assists and playing forward passes to Saka, he can get into great opportunities and great positions. And he's actually in the top 2% of wingers receiving progressive passes forward into the final third of the pitch. He actually receives about 13.76 passes forwards per game, which all comes from his high and wide positioning. And getting these passes, Saka needs to make sure that he's in these advanced positions. But these advanced positions can actually be quite tricky for players, and it can cause problems, but Saka uses this to his strength. These difficulties can come from this high and wide position. By playing high and wide in that final third of the pitch, defenders drop closer to their penalty area, trying to prevent Saka from running into space in behind their defence. But being in this area can cause much less space for Saka to get on the ball. But actually, this is one of Saka's strengths. Getting in this position, Saka realises that the defence will drop deep. But if the defence drop deep, he's going to actually give him much more space to drop in and receive the ball to feet. And doing this now and again will encourage the fullback to go and pressure. Saka may receive the ball with his back to goal, but he's realising and aware that he might get pressurised from behind. But this is where Saka is really good. He has the ability to keep control of the ball, and he can twist and turn to get away from his opponent. And getting away from the defender in this final third of the pitch gives him the opportunity to go and create. And his close control that helps him get away from the defender is aided by great drops of the shoulder and changes of direction. And these drops of the shoulder and changes of direction draw 1.7 fouls per game, which may not actually sound a lot, but get these fouls in the final third of the pitch in wider areas, there's going to be greater opportunity for dead ball situations. But if he's not fouled, Saka has the creativity to find key passes in the final third and in and around the penalty area. Now, a key pass is a pass that creates a goal scoring opportunity, or the pass to set up an assist. And this is exactly what Arsenal want him doing. They want him to be high and wide on the right-hand side of the pitch so that he can get the ball close to the penalty area. But one of the main things is by being on the right-hand side, as a predominantly left-footed player, is the opportunity to cut inside, and cut inside almost as an inverted winger. And what's interesting is that Saka is in the top 25% of wingers for taking on opponents. But he's more used to actually carrying the ball, so dribbling the ball towards the penalty area without actually necessarily taking a player on in a 1v1 situation. Saka has the ability to do this and take players on the outside, looking to get crosses into the box, trying to deliver to his strikers. But actually, one of his main strengths is something else. And that main strength, an area that Saka excels in, and something that we mentioned just a second ago, is his ability to receive the ball to feet and get it and carry it towards the penalty area. Now, carrying towards the penalty area means dribbling, but not necessarily taking a player on 1v1. He can cut inside onto his favoured left foot and move towards the penalty area, keeping the ball under close control. Driving towards the box is where Saka is most dangerous, and something that defences absolutely hate. And this is all down to Saka's great ability to keep the ball under close control when he is carrying it towards the box. And this was seen when Manchester United visited the Emirates, as Luke Shaw found out in Arsenal's 3-2 win in January. Shaw found that Saka will keep the ball close to his feet when he's moving with it, and he'll use quick drops of the shoulder to create just enough separation between him and the defender. And this separation allows him to pass or shoot as he carries the ball towards the penalty area. And close control such as this allows Saka to drop the shoulder, which gives him a chance to cross on his right foot, beating the defender on the outside, or even more commonly, cut inside onto his favoured left foot and shoot. And this is hugely unpredictable, but it all comes down to Saka's close control. Saka is a player that doesn't always want to make straight runs in behind the defence. He's actually much more comfortable receiving the ball to feet. When he does receive it to feet, he wants to move inside of the fullback, coming into the pitch, making an out-to-in movement. And this out-to-in movement can create space on the outside or an opportunity to carry the ball towards the goal. It brings unpredictability, and unpredictability for a fullback is incredibly difficult to read. And being unpredictable and having the ability to twist and turn and beat opponents through body feints, all while keeping the ball close to feet, is something that's really difficult for fullbacks, and it's a massive strength of Saka's. He unbalances the opponents by doing this, where he can find these opportunities to go out there and pass and shoot or create assists. So what you must learn as a winger is you don't always have to beat players. You don't always have to go on the outside and go one-on-one. But what Saka does really well is keep the ball close enough to his feet to create space and separation from the opponents. And then when he's in this situation, he can take advantage. And you can create and take advantage if you get that space away from your opponent. So unbalance them with drops to the shoulder and keeping the ball close to feet.